What have you guys been talking about?
Well, I was just talking about, Stephen was trying to talk to me on the Skype call that I come in on. They're in the process. They're just catching up to the document right now. I've taken it and I've already put a doc version of it out there as well as a PDF version.
Okay.
And I've got mine prepared.
Does anybody have any questions on basically those definitions? Misunderstanding or sort of new enlightenments? Additional enlightenments of looking at other words?
Yes, especially, I mean, I don't have any questions on it. It was just really a fascinating and very pertinent collection of words. And the document speaks right straight to them.
Okay. Now, let other people talk, Tom.
Okay.
Okay. You and I can talk individually, okay?
Sure.
I'm asking for the other people to basically chime in here. It's supposed to be a group effort, okay?
Anybody have any particular questions on the documents?
Comments? Anything? Has anybody looked at the document or those two documents that Tom posted?
I'm pulling it up now.
Welcome. Does anybody have any questions about why we're in a civil war? From the call last night.
No.
Yeah, we know what's going on. Is it in the private homeland documents? Is that where it's at?
Yes, it's
okay.
Everything is still being put in there.
Civil War, yeah, I see.
Right of repatriation.
My right of national repatriation, and also his definitions of a civil war. And the national repatriation is both in PDF form and doc form, so that you can modify it.
Anybody pull up the statute at large, Volume 1, the first act, or the first statute that they passed, Chapter 1, about the oath of office?
I need to do that again. I've read it a couple of times, but I need to repeated readings.
Yeah, you need to pull that out, print that 3 pages that are there, and then highlight what it's saying so that you understand the importance of it.
Yep.
Because all state officials also have to comply with that oath of office. That oath of office has never been repealed. That means the county sheriff has to take that oath of office per the Constitution. And that is a national oath of office. You go into Ballantyne's or Anderson's, I forget which one I pulled it out, but if you look in the definitions there, for national, basically they left the word national out of the Constitution because they did not want to basically confuse the issue. Since the country was made up of several states which were individual sovereigns, they did not want to infer that basically the United States was the sole national in the process. You are a state national by the state of your birth also. When you read that definition on war, it clearly identifies why we have never gotten any proper remedy, equity, or justice in these courts. Because they're not really courts. The courts are all closed to a person who is in revolt. You can only gain access to the courts when you basically revoke all of the foreign contracts and request to be repatriated back to, as a national, back to the nation. Then they have to open the courts up to you. The national courts.
So it's not a matter of finding the right door to go into the court. We have to have the right status.
Yes, we have to know who we are. And see, nobody knows really who they are. And they never knew that they were in a state of civil war between the United States and the United States.
So I got a question because this is
okay.
Patrick, if they know this war is going on, why haven't they stopped it?
Because they're in the system, and they're in the system, and they can't be the one to stop it. They try and stop it, they'll get killed.
They haven't.
It's only we the people that can stand up and stop it. Just like Benjamin Franklin and Thomas Jefferson and some of the other guys said, we give you the Constitution. Now it is up to you to hold on to it and defend it.
Right, as government employees, they have no ability to undo what they've done. We have to do it from the outside.
Yes. Because we are the sovereignty of the sovereign. The nation, the land is the sovereign. And we are the sovereignty of the land because we are the walking around above ground land of the sovereign. So we have the right of inheritance from the nation, from the sovereign. That made us princes in this country. And that's what an American is a prince of the land.
I have a question.
Okay.
Has anybody gotten their national passport?
No. You can't get it until basically you get back in and see that national passport that we were trying to get before, that was not the national passport we want. I said this about 3, 4, 6 months ago, whatever, that the passport we really want was to be a green card, a green passport. In my way of thinking. And basically that was confirmed the last couple of days by a guy named Gerald that basically had a green passport.
So if you get a blue one and it says, I guess, national in it, that's not the right one then.
That's not the right one. If it's a blue one, no.
If it's a blue one, blue cover, okay.
No, we want one that really stands out, and basically, when they see that, they will back right away. Now, you show them a blue passport, and everybody's got a blue passport, even the slaves.
Hey, Patrick, I've got my granddad's. It's green.
Yeah.
When did he get it?
Early 60s, like 1963 or 64.
Okay.
And it has letters. They're like everything's drilled in with holes in the page. It's like, all the numbers are like little holes.
Yeah. Well, hang on to that, because basically that's what you're going to want to show them, is that that's the type passport you want as a national. As an American national.
Okay, I'm looking at my old passport. Let's see what year I got it in. Oh, I'm just so old. Okay, I got it in, 76, November 3rd, 76. And it's a blue one. It's a little bit bigger than the normal, and it does have the numbers drilled in like little holes, G252, blah, blah, blah. And then my next one that updated that one is the same thing. It has the number drilled through the whole few pages only, only the first few pages.
The green one has gold lettering, and the blue one has silver.
Yeah, the blue one has silver in mine also.
This
now,
green one I'm looking at has gold.
The passport number on the blue one has started off with a letter.
Right.
Or on the green one started off with a letter.
Right.
Where the ones on the blue one start off with a number. There is no letter in it.
Hold on, yeah. The old ones have a letter, and the new ones have a number.
So your old blue one has a letter.
Yeah, the old blue one has the letter D, and then the updated version, the old one was a G starting with, and then a D. So they changed the format, yep.
Okay. Now, that's enough on the passports, okay? The key thing you need to do is to basically get identified that you are an American national. You need to go into these office holders, the Secretary of State at your state level, your birthing state, the state you're living in, and at the United States of America level, and put it into their national office. Okay? Then they have to comply. Now, there's several of us out here that had visits from either the FBI or the Secret Service. Nobody else has ever come out and visited me. Nobody from the Secretary of State's office, nobody from the Attorney General's office or anything like that. Secret Service came out and saw me. When was the Secret Service established?
Lincoln's.
Under Lincoln, prior to setting up this foreign corporation. It's a secret service. The FBI, I think, may be another place, and they might be the ones that basically are dealing with the American nationals. So I'm going to send them a copy of this, too.
Wasn't the FBI established in the 30s?
I don't know when it was established, okay?
Or is it a successor organization to something else?
Yeah, it was established probably prior to Roosevelt.
Yeah. I'll look that up.
I think it was back in the late 1800s.
Okay.
But I'm not sure. Okay. But that's beside the point. Okay. People need to stay on point. Okay. You can check these things out, but stay on point of what needs to be done. You need to understand the words. You need to understand why. The whys of things are not going the way you think they should be going, instead of going out there and arguing and using their damn codes and everything to argue a situation that is totally wrong to begin with. You want out of the system, you do not use their system to come out of it. You just revoke their system and you throw yourself on the mercy of the sovereign. The land, basically, and the people that are the servants to the land under the original Constitution, they have to uphold and defend your rights. But until you get them into that position, they're not going to help you one bit.
Now, I think I understand your national repatriation document pretty well, though I'm going to read it several more times. My question is, then, how do we package it to send it in? Do we take the faxes that you created and modify them to correspond to this document?
Yeah.
And then also send in the individual discharge contracts?
No, basically you just send this in. You send a wet ink signature copy to each one of those people with a cover letter.
Okay.
But I sent a fax in to give them a heads up. And
Okay.
then I said, basically, a follow-up will be in the mail of the wet ink signature.
So just the fax cover sheet and this affidavit, which lists the various documents, but we don't have to send in our documents, which we did one to a page.
No, you've got all the numbers listed. Basically, they can pull them all up. They can come and see you and basically pick those up. They got to come and see you anyway.
That's true.
Okay? You don't need to go and get anything apostilled or anything like that. They've got your number, okay? They know who you are.
Okay, I'll get my stuff ready tomorrow.
Can I ask a question?
Like one of the guys down in South Carolina called me up earlier this afternoon and said, well, we got to have everything apostilled, our birth certificate apostilled. Well, lo and behold, he was last night on the call saying that he went and did a money order, one of the money orders that I had, and put the Federal Reserve Bank number on there off the back of the Social Security card, and then turned the number on the back of the Social Security card, the first letter, into the number of that bank, and put that in as the account number, and basically the IRS came back and thanked him. He didn't need to have an apostilled certificate of live birth in there. Basically, the IRS knew who in the hell he was. They took it. They settled it. They even sent him a thank you. What more do you want? You guys bitch and complain about everything, and yet you have stuff thrown right in your face, but you don't see it. And then you're off trying to go find another damn rabbit hole to hide in. It's the snakes that are supposed to be hiding in the damn holes. We're supposed to be standing tall in the saddle, like the old Western said. That's a just man, one who stands tall in the saddle. Go on, there ought to be some damn questions out here on that damn document that you don't quite understand or something like that.
I got a question that's I mean, I don't know why everybody else on the group is doing this or even been with you this long. I don't know what their reasons or purpose is. I don't know how people think and what they want to do and things of that nature. But I mean, but we come on here every week to try to. Man, we gotta. I mean, I'm just only speaking for myself because I mean, I got so much catch up to do to catch up to where you been and where you at and where you going. I mean, it's like me trying to learn a foreign language for the first time in my life, and I never even knew what a foreign language was. So.
Well, this document is pretty complete in itself.
Yeah, but I'm just trying to say, on the individual. I mean, because this planet is, as far as we, I mean, it just seems like it's just an evil place. I mean, what can we do? You know, I mean, because I know what I want to do, and I know why I'm on this road myself.
We just have to stand our ground. And when you read that document, you're standing and you understand what it's saying. You understand the definitions of those words and are able to utilize those words. You can substantiate it by the oath of office out of the statutes at large. Okay? You understand what a national is compared to a federal. Now, see, prior to this all taking place, they used the word federal out here in support of the national. But now, ever since the incorporation of the 1871 United States out of the Bank of England, copyrighted, to where it became a for-profit corporation, basically everything that is being used for a national now is basically in violation, or as a federal, is in violation of the Constitution. They are the belligerent in this war. They're like the Confederate States. Go ahead.
No, I was just reading the definitions you posted. I just opened it up, and you have the word national in there that it was excluded from the Constitution because they didn't want to bring that idea. That's very good.
They did not want to confuse the issue into that it was all just one nation. Okay? Because it might seem to present the idea, the union of the people, without being into view that the one republic was formed out of many states. And see, the states are all individual sovereigns. So as a national, basically, the national is the mother of all the little children states.
They were very careful with their words.
Yes. It's us that can't quite understand the simplicity that they tried to make it. We, in the modern time, we've got to make everything so damn complicated that it confuses the hell out of ourselves. We're our own worst enemy. And then we blame it on everybody else.
Patrick?
Yeah.
Those of us who are have birth in another state, we must not forget we have to address that also, our birth states.
Yes.
That's because
you have to go back to your point of origin.
Right.
You were going to say, Steve?
Yeah, the trivium and the quadrivium, and we learn, rote type knowledge, but we didn't learn the how, why, when, where, and reasoning behind everything. We didn't really learn how to think out of the box.
Right.
That's the quadrivium. It's like the who, how, why,
and
where.
And that's why
that
it was
stuff.
said in the Bible that you had to read that book as a little child. And how does a little child read anything? They always ask the question, why? And I've said that for probably 8 years now. Over and over again. People don't quite understand that. They want to go and argue something, but they never find out the why behind what is going on.
Patrick, we also must remember that there are some of us, some, maybe not all of us, some of us who were taught, when you go to school, you do what you're told, you don't question, you just swallow everything they give to you and you don't argue. And we've had to fight that thing to get back on our own feet again.
Well, that isn't me. I've always argued with them. I've always revolted against half the time when they tried to tell me something and I didn't agree with it. And basically, I was going to do it my way.
Well, that's fine, but some of us knew that if we gave the teachers an argument in a rough time, our parents would hear about it, and then our parents would take care of us. Hey,
I know. I got the razor strap quite a few times, but it didn't bother me. I still got it. I mean, what the hell?
You mean to tell me
most of the time I deserved it?
Your household also had a razor strap? I thought my house was unique to that.
Or if you went to Catholic school, you got the pointer.
Or the ruler, yeah.
Or the ruler.
Yeah. Yeah,
I got that a couple times, too.
Yeah, we're all having to retrain our brains.
No, we don't have to retrain our brains. We just have to wake up and stand up for what is right and wrong. That's all. That's all you need to know is this right or is this wrong?
I don't disagree.
Yeah.
Being free is hard work.
Yeah. And see, they can't make that decision. The judges and everything, they have to operate by rules of law. They're not really allowed to make a right and wrong call.
What do you think they're doing out there?
Well, see, right now, at all the courts, you're in a state of rebellion against the nation, so you're sided with a foreign enemy, and you're a slave to them, so basically they can beat the shit out of you. I mean, just ask some of us that have basically gone to jail.
Yeah.
I mean, basically spending the night on a damn cement slab.
Yeah.
That is worse than any slave ever was put into.
Amen, brother.
No, I think you put it all here. I mean, if we can't get this, we might as well give it up.
Yeah, but we just need to keep the pressure on them, okay?
Right. You've laid
And like
all the
I said,
out.
we may have to go to the outfit like the Secret Service and put them on notice too. Say I'm an American national, and basically, now, you better tell me where in the hell I'm supposed to go if this isn't the right office. I want this directed to the right office.
And I think that's the key, Patrick, because when I've gone to my state in New York, they've come out and told me that they will not accept any more papers for me. And I went on the site today to look where I can send these papers, and the lowest filing fee, they will not accept papers, that you have to put in a $40 filing fee for papers.
No, see, that's wrong, okay? You send these right in, that you address that as the National Office of Secretary of State, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And you say that this is private and confidential. And then you put a tracking number on that, whether you do a certificate of mailing or you do a certified mailing or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now you've done your job. Now they're the ones that are in violation of their oath of office.
They're not in honor.
They're in violation of their oath of office. And basically there is a stiff penalty for being a national office holder that is not complying with their oath of office. That is where treason comes into play against America. See, we can't claim treason if we're out here as a rebellious entity. And we're claiming treason against a foreign entity.
Mm.
You can't claim treason against a foreign enemy. They're already at war. You're the one that's committing the treason by siding with them in this civil war.
So you have to track all your moves to document them.
Yeah, and basically you have to do what I pretty much laid out there, that we revoke and we discharge all of these foreign entities, including the Church of Rome. It's another foreign corporation that is at war against the nation.
Patrick, I have a question about the list of documents on the repatriation document, and it's about things that aren't current. I have my current Ohio driver's license, but I have older Arizona and Nebraska.
Just put down what you feel you need to put in there, Tom.
Okay.
Okay?
Because I'm wondering whether if it's like the passport.
Basically, when they come and see you, then you hand them the rest. Say, oh, here's something else.
Oh, okay.
And just make a blanket statement that basically all others will be turned in when I find them.
Okay. Yeah, you got.
Okay.
Yeah, you got that. Yes, I was going to ask that. Do we have to list everything, or can we add things later?
No.
And you're saying we can
I
add.
said that before. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
On other calls when I was doing these other documents.
Okay. Good. That answers my question. Thank
Just
you.
do it like upon request.
Okay, go ahead.
I was saying just do it like upon request.
What? You're breaking up.
That you upon request.
No, we can't understand you. This is you're on here, WTPW. Your mic is very loud and it's all distorted. Can you back away from the microphone some?
Yeah. How about that?
That's much better. Soft, but better.
No, I was just saying to put upon request.
Okay.
You put a what request?
Upon request.
Upon request.
Yeah, or we call upon them to do their job. Read what it says about call upon.
Yes.
I had that definition up about 2 or 3 years ago. We were using the term called upon. And see, we're calling upon that national office to uphold their oath of office. They're supposed to be the public servants for the sovereign of the nation. And then they're supposed to support and aid the sovereignty of the nation, and that is us, we the people. The Constitution was not to infringe in any way upon the rights and the sovereignty of the people.
Patrick, I have a question about the mailing. I've gotten a stamp made for the prepaid, and when I got it, you had said that we could use either the red number on the back of the Social Security card or the passport as the permit number. Is that still good?
I'm going to go ahead and put the 49-cent stamp on it, okay? Just to make sure it gets there, okay?
Okay.
I'll cross the other road down the line here when we get several of these things done.
Yeah, that sort of was my thinking too, but I wanted to get ready for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to make sure that these things get in to the proper hands.
Okay. Thank you.
But I don't think we need to go with certified mailing or registered mailing. Yeah, go ahead, Steve.
Are you sending in your definitions too, like this definition for Civil War, or is that just for our education?
That's for basically the people on the groups to try and educate yourself.
Right. Just to review all these words.
Yeah, so
really
basically
good.
you have a little support.
Yeah.
When they come and talk to you.
Right.
Okay?
That's a good outline. Yeah, right. It's really good. It's good to have a glossary even in your papers that you forward to people. It's not bad to have a glossary or words.
Yep. I probably don't know them.
Mm-hmm. Gives them an education. Was there something else besides the definition you have regarding oath that we needed to know? Was there something that you put up somewhere about the oath of office, United States? Just this in the definitions?
Well, just in the first act in the statutes at large, talking about the oath of offices, okay?
Right.
It starts off talking about at the national government level, okay? And then it goes into the individual states. And basically it talks about the chosen, those that are chosen, well, that means elected.
Yeah.
And one of those that is elected is the county sheriff.
Right.
So now when you stand as an American national, okay, and not a federal United States citizen, they cannot cause you harm. If they do, they're in violation of their oath of office.
Right. Like when they prescribe you back into the system when you're already out, then that's causing you harm.
Well, they can't prescribe you back into their system. Okay?
Right.
To get back into their system, it has to be voluntary. You have to consent into being in their system some way or another.
Right.
Yeah, they cannot force you into servitude. And that's why when you revoke all of these and order the discharging of them, now any continuation is a forced servitude in violation of the 13th Amendment.
Right.
I wish that all these so-called big gurus out here that are so educated on the constitutional law and everything else would start picking some of this stuff up. You guys that go to the websites that they're on, why don't you send them some of this damn information and say, hey, you might want to check this shit out. This little nitwit Iowa boy might know a lot more than you damn educated constitutional attorneys.
I don't know if they'll be able to handle that. Their ego's going to get inflamed.
What was that again?
I don't know. If you show them this stuff, their ego might not be able to handle it.
Well, they better get over their ego because basically there isn't that much time left. Okay. If they're really true and want to get out of the system, that's when you start finding out who they really are. Whether they're just a bullshit Connie person that is just trying to make money off of their bullshit, or whether they're really serious about trying to help the country.
Well, I guess we're going to lead the way.
All right.
March on.
Yeah, we guess you got to drop little bombs on them once in a while. Just send them some mail. Send them a file.
Will be the
this definition would be a good place to start. The definitions would be a good place to start, and then the other one, and then your the right of national repatriation. You know, you send those two to them, they'll get a clue.
Yeah, just take my name out of it, whatever. Well, shit, I don't even care if my name's in it. I don't give a shit anymore. They got my name all over the damn country anyway, half the places.
That's true.
Well, for it to be effective for us, it has to be our name.
Oh.
Hey, Patrick.
No,
some of us
no,
defend you, Patrick.
I don't want to be associated with you with all this stuff. I'll be sure your name is not on my stuff. Thank you, sir.
No, go ahead and leave it on there. What the hell? I like to mess with people's minds anyway.
What's harder is to get the Iowa out of it. Iowa's a much shorter word, and it's harder to find.
Yes, there's not much space there.
Oh.
Hey, guys! It's close to Ohio, so don't.
Well, that was my problem. It's the same length.
Yeah.
I spent 2 hours going over that document. Went back for the third time. There were 5 Iowas still left in.
Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Patrick, do you know Alan Craiglow?
All right.
No, I don't.
Oh, okay. He's in Iowa. I'll send him some of your stuff and see what he does. I think he's in Davenport.
Well, that's only about 80 miles away.
friend that went out there to visit him in a motorhome that he paid gold for and all that, and he got his ass kicked in the jail. That was Bill James. I don't know if you heard of him. He used to be he was one of the foremans on the Oklahoma grand jury before they bombed the building. Blamed it on the Patriots, like Tim McVeigh and such, when it was all phony.
Yeah, well, it was all black water. It was the Bushes and the Clintons that were basically covering our tracks of drug running and everything.
Yep.
Hey, can you hear me?
Yep.
Hey, Patrick, I see in your document here the repatriation. You don't, or maybe I'm missing it. Are you doing your DD-214 in that? Oh, there it is. Military Selective Service Discharge Certification. Okay, there it is. Now, have you heard of this location that says National Archives Trust Fund?
With the Smithsonian Institute?
Well, it's not on this form that I'm trying to get a copy of my DD-214 because I thought I'd lost it, but then I found it. But the form talks about if you're, not that you're this old, whatever, but if your service completed before World War I, National Archive Trust Fund. I didn't know if that could be another location for it to go to. It gives an email here.
Well, see, the military obligation, when a person gives time up of their life in support and defense of the country or the nation always owes them something in return, extra, over and above what the regular citizens are getting.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what a military bounty was. And this is one of the oldest laws on the books, all the way back through the Bible, even back to Hammurabi's day.
Okay.
Was Hammurabi the guy that started the debt banking system, or what? What's he all famous for?
Well, basically, he came after the first Nimrod in the first Babylonian system, okay? And then Hammurabi had the 282 or 84 codes of law that basically, and some of them are almost ridiculous, but they were a set of laws that were out there, okay?
Yeah.
That was one of the first published sets of laws recorded until they just found, like what Saddam Hussein and the Iraqis found, 15 pristine Syrian or whatever tablets from the first Babylonian Empire. And they weren't able to interpretate them and put them out to the general public. That's when the Blackwater boys went in and hit the dam before the war broke out, and they laid siege to the museum there in Baghdad. The bankers
really
didn't want these things out. Yeah.
They really are. I saw a picture of the Bushes giving the Pope Benedict XVI a birthday cake that looked like the Tower of Babel.
Uh-huh.
They really do want to reconstruct that. Their whole thing is based on Babylonian organization.
Well, see, like I said last night, okay, I watched a movie about Egypt, okay, and two archaeologists, basically they were digging up tombs, and they were complaining about all these grave robbers coming in and taking the gold out of the tombs. Well, why was the gold ever put into those tombs to begin with? It was put in there by the pharaohs to keep the gold away from the common people.
Right, makes them easier to be a slave or control them.
Right.
Yeah.
You keep the assets out of the people's hands, and then basically the people have to keep coming to you. So basically that's what they were passing on to their next lineage of pharaohs.
Yeah, a debt system.
And see,
the
one pharaoh,
slavery.
the one pharaoh totally messed up by putting all the treasure upon the Great Pyramid, so that everybody saw it. Even all the foreign countries knew that they had all that gold. They could not compete with all that gold that was sitting upon the top of the Great Pyramid. Well, when Moses came back to town, basically he put them on the chopping block and said, hey, that is really the people's money, now give it to them. So that great capstone came down, and it's never been replaced because it was dispersed out amongst the different tribes that went both to the east and to the west and to the south.
Yeah, they said, thank you, see ya.
Yeah. Not everybody went with Moses out of Egypt. There was some that went over here to America. The Moors.
Right, a lot of those Indian chiefs were blonde and red-haired and stuff. They were white-skinned. So I see 3 documents that got put up today. Is there any more than those? It's the definitions and then also the right to national repatriation. That's all I see. Is there anything else?
That was it. Tom put up one in the PDF format and then one in the Word document, and then the other for the definitions. Those were the 3.
Right, that's great. Now, we... And you mentioned doing registered mail and stuff because then they could track it, and then it is like a vessel holding cargo. Didn't you say that? I mean, we could do certificate of mailing, but
you could do a certificate of mailing to where you've got it confirmed that you mailed that. Okay.
Right. We don't need to do all that other stuff.
At the end of 10 days, if they've not responded back to you, now they're in total dishonor.
Right.
3 days out, 3 days to revoke it, 3 days to return, and 1 day of grace.
Yeah.
That's what the 10 days is all about in mailing.
Right, because I did that to the Secretary of the State here in California with that the right to discharge. But I'll do another one. I'll like you say, hit them 3 times.
And see, I covered all the different areas. I covered the Attorney General, I covered the Governor, the President, and the Secretary of State. I covered the Secretary of the Treasury, of the National Treasury. Okay? He is also over all the state treasuries, too. Okay? That the state have to basically work through the National Secretary of Treasury because there is no Secretary of Treasury at the state level.
Right.
They're just treasurers.
Yeah, they're just agents for the feds.
Yeah, they're just treasurers out here, and they work for the Secretary of the Treasury. And then also I had a statement in there about the courts. And then I also had about the Church of Rome, that basically they came in as a creditor into the bankruptcy of 1933, and that's how they got their foot back in the door to be a belligerent as a creditor. They were always a creditor back from 1871, but now they had control over the people's assets. Okay. Go ahead and you guys talk for a while. I got to go get my mom ready for bed.
All right.
I'll be back in a few minutes. Okay?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hey, Thomas.
Yeah.
What was he saying before, that somebody used the back of their Social Security card and did something? Was that about Bill?
Yes, I think that's what Bill was saying yesterday, and I'm glad he repeated it because Bill was hard to understand yesterday. And what they did is you take the for a routing number, you take the letter of the number on the back, the lifeboat number, he calls it sometimes, and then you use that to find out the corresponding Federal Reserve Bank.
Yeah, mine is G. Yeah.
Right, and then you take the lifeboat number and convert the letter to a number, so that D would become 04.
So the letter in front of the numbers is usually either 0, 1, or 2, depending.
Well, there are 11 Federal Reserve districts, so you're going to need a 1 for a couple of them.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
But most of them, I think, take 0, because if it didn't take the 0, it would kick out. So you'd have to play around.
Right. Now, I wasn't sure, though, what Bill was using that for.
Is he on the phone? Do you know?
No, I don't see him on the phone here.
Okay.
From what I gather, was he paying tax bills online with that EFTS system or whatever it is at the IRS?
I have no idea.
I think
yes, he was using that online. He was using the EFTPS.
Okay.
But he used the letter in the payment. When you do that EFTPS, you don't change the letter. You use the letter.
Oh, you used the letter. I thought he said he had changed it.
Only when you change the letter when you're doing a credit card, but when you're using the tax payment, you keep the letter in.
Okay.
And it works because I did it.
You mean
that's
when
awesome. Do you do it only for? Sorry, Tom. Go ahead.
For paying bills online, you were able to do that for utilities and things, and it stuck?
Yeah.
Ah.
It's cool. I mean, it worked just like the other way. I'm just hoping it'll stay.
But you have
and how long has it?
It's been. When did I do it? Saturday, I think, because I talked to Bill Saturday.
Hey, Pat.
Yeah.
So how long did it take them before they sent you your PIN number?
It only takes a week.
Well, because I did it as well, and I haven't received my PIN number yet. I got my
account
profile thing set up that they gave me that I had to make a copy of, but I hadn't received my PIN number or my.
I'll call them then. I would call them because it took the most it should take is 7 days.
What's the PIN number?
Because I had to do it twice because.
The PIN number is for the account you set up on the EFT, whatever PS.
Yeah.
That's only for the taxes then.
Right.
Okay.
But what I'm hoping is I did it. I overpaid them just to make sure that because I don't know how much I owe, so I overpaid them like $25,000 because I owe them like $25,000. So I overpaid them, hoping that they would return the overpayment.
Pat.
Yeah.
Is that the only thing you paid for the EFTPS or EFTPS, whatever it is?
Yeah.
So that's the only thing you did online. Now, when you got your PIN number and you went in, did you have any problem? Because I got my PIN number, I just haven't went in and updated it.
No, it's real easy. You just follow the instructions. You've got to set up a password, and if you change anything with what they give you, if you change any of your information, then you've got to change your password. But they just explain it all to you as you're working through the system. So it's really easy. Just write things down so you don't forget.
And you did it with your name, not your hubby.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll plug it and do it soon.
And then I went and I paid, I think, 3 credit cards, and I changed my E to a 5, and then I used the Federal Reserve routing number, and I gave the information to my brother, and he gave it to his friend, and he did the same thing, and it worked for him.
But when you did it the other way with the passport, how long did it take for it to bounce back?
It took 10 days.
Okay, so we're still in that 10-day period to see what happens.
Yeah.
But Pat, you did this only on the EFTPS, right?
No, I did it only the taxes.
On the EFTPS.
Yeah, but then for the credit cards, I changed the E to the number.
But you know what? I did that with my credit card. I did the routing number G, which is I think I forgot which one, Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't put G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. I didn't put 7. I put a 0 and it took.
Yeah, I did that too.
And
so to be sure that I did it right, I paid it again and put.
you put the
number.
Corresponded. So your 5 is E, my 7 is G.
Yeah, so I did it the other way, and then I'll be able to tell which payment is going to work.
How can you tell?
Well, you know what? I'm going to wait till this one kicks out, and if it does, then I'll redo it with the G number. So
because I gave them different nicknames.
Oh, okay.
I put H.E.R. 192 for one of my nicknames.
or 1099C.
That's great.
So tomorrow I'm going to do some money orders.
Yeah, let's send each other a bill. Give each other money orders.
The guy from Tesla keeps calling me. He calls me every day.
Well, send me a bill and then send it to him.
Well, actually, you could just pay it online. Hey, if I can pay $50,000 in taxes, I could,
Hey, try it and let me know. I canceled my Tesla because I got nervous.
Well, I ordered 2 of them.
Tom, you need one?
I've been thinking of it. I like the.
Well, you know what? We'll all get Teslas and meet up in Puerto Vallarta.
Yeah.
It's only $140,000 car.
Only.
Yeah, but I'd like to go more than 300 miles at a crack.
Well, get your friend to get that ball going so we can put it in the car and not have to stop to recharge it.
Right.
You get one of these superchargers so you can charge it in like less than an hour.
Yeah, but you don't want to have to stop to charge it, so it should have a battery recharging while you drive, period.
Right.
Yeah.
No, in fact, I wanted to use this system to get, because the guy who's the inventor, he's really having a hard time. It's a very convoluted story, but he's really just doing day labor right now, and he has a hard time even finding those jobs. So he really needs the system to get out.
Tell him to send me a bill, and I'll see if we can pay him.
Mm.
Send me a bill.
If we can't,
I'll send it through the treasury or whatever.
If we can't get any cash, that's about the only way we're going to get cash out of it.
Right.
Yes.
Are we back to doing money orders again? I missed that.
Yeah.
Why not?
So what's the difference in the money orders, or is it just sending it to Ogden?
I think everything is the same, just a different routing number and a different account number.
Yeah.
Right, Pat?
Right.
Oh,
and it goes to Ogden.
And
it goes to Ogden instead, but what address? It gets the same address posted on the money order itself, but it just gets mailed somewhere different.
Yeah, it goes
to Washington.
It goes to Ogden, the private side in Ogden.
And we're using the same routing number system now that you use for the taxes?
Yeah.
Yeah, the one that corresponds with the letter of the back of the Social Security card.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, like I think
Well, that's different. Okay, so it just we're not doing then with the letter of where I got the card, but the letter that's on the card.
Right.
Fine. What letter is yours?
Mine's
Thomas?
E.
What's
yours, Thomas?
I'd have to go look.
Mine is G. It's Pat. Is that Chicago? Wait,
that's Chicago.
All right.
So, hey, Pat, is your deal Dowling?
Mine's F.
F? That's
Yeah.
Atlanta.
Mhm.
Okay, but I got the card through the Ogden office. I mean,
Doesn't matter.
Through the Omaha office.
I don't think that matters.
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't.
When I paid the electric bill, I used the Omaha office as the routing, the Federal Reserve Bank number.
Yeah, but did it stick? It went through, but it didn't stay.
Well, I never got anything back. I just got another bill. They never told me anything about it failing.
But did the bill show a difference, or is it the same bill again?
It's just the same bill.
So you just got another bill. Was it paid off last month?
No.
So it didn't work then.
It didn't work.
Okay, that's probably Try it the other way.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm really hopeful for this because it's so different.
I like the idea of putting the number in front of the letter, changing the letter to the number and putting the number in.
And I've got verifications that the funds, have been processed, and I have a mind to call them and say, okay, do you have the funds? Because when they get the authorization, when we get the authorization, they get on the computer that the funds have been captured.
Yeah.
So I want to know this.
Well, I was reading the printout because I sent the credit card a bill. I mean, a EFT, and I printed it out, and it says it went through with the authorization number and all that stuff. But then they say it takes up to 4 days to complete the process.
Now, what kind of verification did you get?
I have it right here. Do you have yours, Pat?
Did they send it to you in the mail, or did you get it online?
No, it's online.
Yeah, but 10 days later, they got paid. They got paid.
Yep, I agree with you. Okay,
hey, Pat,
I got the bill. I printed it out, and it's a verification confirmation number, online transfer, reference number, FIC, whatever, blah, 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 whatever it is. And then it says this transaction takes effect the same day you submit it, blah, blah, blah. And then it says lower down, what happens if there isn't enough money in the account? And then it tells you if the from account does not have enough money to cover this transaction, your payment will be reversed to your credit card account. Fees may apply. Please refer to your other bank policies. So it's the other bank that it goes into their policies. And then under that it says, how will this transaction be processed? It may take up to 4 days to fully process this payment between banks. So up to 4 days, mine says that's for Wells Fargo.
Okay.
So after 4 days, I guess it's good.
Well, I just got verification that your payment has been processed, so I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it means it's processed, right? Sometimes. I think you're right, though, about the only way we can do this if we send each other some kind of bill and then we submit it for the other person. So it's almost like a third party.
How are you going to submit it? I don't understand that.
Well, I say if I send Patricia a bill, okay, Patricia, I'm sending you a bill because I borrowed $350,000 from you.
Right.
Can you pay me? And then she would go and do her money order and send me money, send it to me, like you would send it.
Well, what are you going to do with it when you get it?
I don't know.
First,
I have to get it. I would probably
You're going to use it to. You're going to deposit it into the Treasury.
You have to deposit into the Treasury or not a non-interest bearing or your Treasury direct account.
Well, if you
can't deposit into Treasury direct. The government, only the Treasury can deposit it into the Treasury, the Direct Express.
Well, would they send you a Treasury check?
I don't know, but Cam, I'll send you a bill, okay? Just Skype me your address.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I have yours, Pat. I'll send a bill, and what do we got to lose? But and then we'll figure it out.
Patrick at one time did think we could take the money's orders and deposit them in our own bank account, but we backed away from that now.
Yeah. Well, we'll send the money order into the to the Treasury, to Ogden, and they'll cut the check.
Okay.
Hopefully. So, Pat, read the Skype. Somebody's trying to get in touch with you. I don't know who it is.
Oh.
I don't know, yeah.
Yeah, it's me.
All right.
Me.
Palmer.
I'm looking. Yeah. Wait a minute.
WTPW Palmer. Sounds like a radio station.
Now, my Skype is acting very weird.
Are you on the Mac?
No, I don't have all my info over to it yet.
Oh, okay. You got to work
on
that.
I just learned how to get my email, so part of it's over there.
Yeah, you got to work on it.
I do. I have to get.
You might
do I go to
taking a look at the W-8 forms again, too, and filling them out as an American national now.
Ah.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah. Now then, when you stand as an American national, and then you put your bills in, now they should be settled. See, as long as you're a belligerent working for, they don't have to honor anything. That's what I said. And they're not.
Yeah, they're not.
So if they're making that decision, that means they know that we're belligerent. This concept isn't hidden to them.
They want us to defend our position. This is how they can test us.
Well, yeah, and basically they want you to stay in the system, and the only way you can't stay in the system and win. The deck is stacked against you. You're going to lose. They're going to wear you down, just like in the casinos. They get you in the door, and unless you hit and run, okay, which 99% of the people don't, they will basically stay there, and they will end up losing in the vast majority. Very few people ever really walk out of those places a real winner.
Is that you talking, Patrick?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, he sounded so different. You sound so calm. Oh, that's cool.
Well, let me get fired up here again.
I like calm. Go ahead, fire away.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm new to the call. I'm Don. My name's Don. Just wondering, can somebody give me the email, or not the email, but the website where I can get all this information?
Go ahead, Tom.
Okay, you know how to get on Yahoo groups? This is it's a Yahoo group. We the people, one word, _ shareholders. We own the country. We own the nation, not the country.
All right.
So if you go to yahoo.com, the menu below, you pick groups. It'll give you a search box. Just type in "We the People," one word in there, and I think there's a couple of groups that with that name. But click on the one that says shareholders. Go there, join. When you join, it'll ask you to fill out your profile, your email address, how do you want to receive mails. I recommend you receive each individual email, not in the digest form. And then once you're there, you have to get familiar with that because there's a menu on the left, and you have to go pick the files. There's a file section and a link section, and that's where all the files are kept in the file section.
Right.
So when you join the group, you'll get a welcome letter, which will explain to you some of the mechanics of how to operate the group.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Okay. Was there any other questions on the documents that, or the definitions of the words that are in there about who can be an elector, what age, and basically age 21 was put into place in after the 14th Amendment. The age 21 was really when you had the right to claim your inheritance from the nation. And that goes back into the Bible.
There weren't many questions about the documents while you were gone, Patrick. I think this document is really well written. It's very, very easy to understand, even though it's complex in its ideas. It really is straightforward. And the definitions are very much on target. You can see your thought processes there.
Yeah, and see, basically also, when you put your statement in, okay, now all transactions are supposed to cease in war, okay?
When you put your what in, can you repeat that, please?
Basically, all monetary transactions are supposed to cease. Okay? Read the definition of war, okay? All members of each belligerent are respectively enemies to the other members of the belligerent. Where commercial intercourse were social intercourse allowed, it would tend to strengthen the enemy and afford facilities traitorous for conveying intelligence and even for correspondence. Trading may be authorized by the sovereign and to a limited extent by a military commander. Okay? And that's basically what the president and the governors have allowed to do. But in all cases, trading between two belligerents is supposed to cease so that neither side gains an advantage. So see, every time you keep playing around with the IRS and with these other entities out here, you are helping to support the other belligerent. You're giving them aid and comfort. So when you start this process, you have to make it go 100%.
I was just getting used to the fact of having a multiple personality.
What's your name, Sylvia?
Sybil.
Symbol? Whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I guess there's no other comments about what's going on here. Then basically everybody knows it all, so good luck. Talk to you later. Good night.
Take care.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Patrick.
Patrick.